Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm putting up a video that's all about my garage sale that I just participated in last weekend, and hopefully I can just get this video up. This is the day after, and I just kind of put some clips together. I didn't film anybody. It's just about my tips in having a garage sale and what I do to prepare for a garage sale. And I can honestly tell you that what I normally do for the garage sales is not what I did this time. I got involved in this garage sale because it was our neighborhood garage sale. I live in a pretty big neighborhood and they do it a couple of times a year. One of the garage sales that they did actually occurred in February, the weekend I was moving in, so of course I didn't participate. Then they do one now, and which was June. It's too hot. I learned a huge lesson that, yeah, not ever doing a garage sale again in June. But they do also do another one in the fall, and I believe it might come like more towards the end of September. So I will definitely participate in that. So I hope you'll stay tuned. I will share with you what some of my tips are to have a good garage sale, what I normally do in a garage sale, and how I did over this past weekend. I didn't do bad for just kind of throwing it and putting it together, but I have to tell you, this is how hot it was. Of course, out in the sun, I think the temps got to about, I don't know, maybe 92, yesterday 93, which is hot. The garage sale actually was just a one-day sale in the neighborhood from 7 a.m. to noon. I didn't last quite till noon. At about 11:10 or 11:15, I was like, okay, I gotta shut down. Pretty much, I would say was successful. I did get or sold about 3/4 of what I had out there. And you can actually see in some of the videos when I'm just chatting throughout the day, my mascara literally like just kind of melted on my eyes because it was so hot. I had fans going, and so I'm going to share with you in the videos my tips. And like I said, I didn't really get a chance to do what I normally do when I have a garage sale. I usually prepare for it, collecting everything, sorting things out, making sure it's, very nicely displayed. And so just as a brief statement to make for a garage sale, you have to spend some time organizing, you have to spend some time in presentation. Really important to make sure that you group like things together, that everything is tagged and marked. There's several ways you can do that with color-coded sticker system, little tags that come on string that you can hang. Make sure that it's just an attractive sight from the street so people look, and sometimes when they just see things thrown out, they're not interested in stopping. And be willing to negotiate with individuals who come in. I mean, if I have something marked $1 and someone says we take 50 cents, yes, I'm going to take 50 cents for it because I don't want to repackage it. I don't want to, you know, store it again. So yes, I'm willing to negotiate. Now, there are some items that I think I put out in my sales that I do not consider to be garage sale type items. I do list some things that might be a little more expensive on what I would consider the designer end of it. So those are prices that I will negotiate on, but not that much, because with those items, I know I'm still going to not necessarily donate them, but I will keep them. Such things as Longaberger baskets. I have a very large collection of Longaberger baskets. And, an idea, if you want to scale down some, is if you can sell it at a price that you feel is, that's what you have to decide in your mind. Am I willing to part with this at such a price and know that it's still a deal and a bargain for someone else? Sometimes I take those Longaberger baskets because they're collector baskets, and I decorate them as birthday gifts or Christmas gifts. Yes, I know it's a basket that's used, but it is a collector basket. So I think that's a good idea in doing something. If you want to try to part with it and sell it, then be reasonable about what you're willing to part with it, or be reasonable and put a price on that you know is a good sale price, and just stick to it. I do that with some of my designer handbags. If I have, which I did this time, I had another handbag in mind that I'm wanting to purchase, so I have a purse fund that I'm collecting, and part of the garage sale was like, oh, I want to add to my purse fund. So I put the price on the collector handbags that I've loved, I've used, I've worn, and I have just kind of been set back, and I was willing to part with it, and I put a price on it. I knew the bottom line, and that was it, and I sold 2 of them. So, you know, I think you have to really decide what you want to do. Now, I've been to garage sales, and I've heard other people commenting at certain garage sales, okay, this really isn't a garage sale. You have department store prices on these. Like, okay, you know as well as I know, an OPI bottle, nail polish bottle, or Essie, you know, those things can run, if you don't get them on sale, $7.99, $9.99. And you can see through the bottle, and maybe just, you know, 1/8 of it has been used, and somebody will put $7 on it, or $8, or maybe there's 1/4 of it missing. People don't want to purchase that at a garage sale at that particular price. So I put out several bottles of nail polish because I do my own nails, so I have a large selection of nail polish, and some of them were maybe 1/4 used, some of them I would say half used, and I put a price on those bottles that I felt was very reasonable and a very good deal for anyone else who liked the color, and they could tell by looking at it and shaking it that it still was good polish. And I sold all of them. So I just think you have to decide, what are you willing to do? I had a lot of costume jewelry this time that I put out. I sold every bit of it, and had I had more time, I could have gone through more, but this was just kind of a last minute thing, and I'll talk about that in the video. So I just wanted to kind of give you just a little introduction as to what I did for my garage sale, and maybe you can pick up a few tips. Stay tuned. Hi everyone. Well, it's Friday, and my neighborhood is having a garage sale tomorrow, and so of course last minute Lucy here. Since our move, I've been still unboxing slowly but surely, and now I just decided, okay, I know where I want to hang, what I want to keep, what I'm not going to keep, what decor I can get rid of, and just some other things that it's time to just put out and see what I can do at the garage sale. So today I am just going to just put on a little bit of protection for my skin, let my skin breathe, because I am going to be out in a very hot garage. And I think tomorrow it's supposed to be like 95 degrees. But the garage sale is from 7 until noon. And I don't know how long I'll be able to stand it. I'll keep you posted on how the garage sale's going. You know, a lot of times when I do a garage sale, or I've done them in the past, I will make a big batch of hot dogs, and my curling iron's not working because it's not plugged in. And I wrap them, and I keep them in a warmer, and I make chocolate chip cookies, and I sell them on the side. And like one year, I made close to $100 just, you know, doing that. A hot dog and individual bag of chips, and I think a drink I sold for like $2.50. I mean, come on, cheap lunch. And you know how it is when kids go to the garage sale, and people just get hungry. And And then I put a couple of cookies in a bag, nice big size chocolate chip, double chocolate chip, and sold them for like 75 cents each, and made a ton of them. And by the end of the day, it was like almost $100, way more than what I spent purchasing. And so, for the ingredients, and it was just a great idea. And if you have kids and you're doing a garage sale, it's great to get them involved. Make popcorn, put them in little baggies. You'd be surprised at the people that come to your garage sale and are hungry. So, don't know if I'm going to get to do that this year. I doubt it, because this is last minute for me, so I am literally running through the house, putting everything out there, and just going to mark a price on it. But I'll let you know how it goes, because I don't know how I'm going to do in that sweat box. Bye. So today is the garage sale day, and it's probably, what would you say, 90 outside in the sun, and probably 190 here in the garage. Did pretty good, I'd say, for just throwing this thing together the last few days. Got rid of quite a bit so far, and it's only been 2.5 hours, and maybe did about 100 and I think maybe $135 worth now. So not bad for a throw together day, but I'll never do it again. Garage sale in the summer. No, it's too hot. Well, it's still hot, maybe even hotter, but we just made another $32, $33 with a couple of people that came through. Pretty much got rid of almost everything that I basically put out. I put jewelry out, nail polish, gone. I have one bottle of nail polish left. I put out curtains, just a lot of stuff. Even a couple of really nice purses. 2 of them sold at a pretty decent price that I was satisfied with, a Kate Spade and another, I think, leather purse. And then a couple of my Vera Bradleys I really thought would sell, but they did not. I had some of clothing out, dress clothing, it all sold. And so for a throw together, hurry up, sit out, and cook in the heat, I did pretty good, because money's going towards my new purse, because I got a purse fund. So a couple of tips about garage sailing. First of all, these are all the tips that I did not do today because this is a neighborhood sale and I just got involved at the very last minute, which isn't really a good thing to do. However, my husband was here this week, and so we scurried around, did what we could. So, as I was saying, I kind of got interrupted because I had a few more people come through. And, people just are friendly. They want to chat. And that's kind of nice. So, basically, make your garage sale pleasing, pleasant to look at, easy to walk around, have everything well marked, group like things together. These are just really basic things. And, just make sure that, especially when people come in groups and there's a lot of people here and you might be checking somebody out, wrapping their stuff if it's glass, or, you don't want people to have to constantly wait for you to find out how much you've got something priced on. And make sure you always tell people everything is negotiable. Because it is a garage sale and people are looking for a bargain. But if you have really good stuff and it's priced right, it's up to you. Do you want to go to, there's other ways of being able to post your own products and sell them outright, and you take care of, shipping and all that? Or do you want to be reasonable? Are you able to part with something that you no longer like? The Marie Kondo effect
no longer serves you but would serve this somebody else and make them very happy. I mean, what's your goal? I have a purse fund started for a purse I have my eye on that I'd like, so I was willing to part with some of my other stuff. And things not to do, well, let me just retract. I put this together because the neighborhood was having this yard sale, and as I stated, so I wanted to get in on it. I didn't know if I was going to have time to do it, so it's been so hot here, and it's really hard to work in the garage. So I didn't do. I made the presentation nice, but I just couldn't tag things the way I'd like to. Sometimes you can use color-coded stickers, like I had mentioned. But things not to do is to just throw things out or make it so that somebody just walks in, takes one look, and leaves. Because if you really want to get rid of things, then you have to be willing to make it nice and spend those few hours. So, to make a couple $100 for a few hours is kind of a nice thing. And in the past, I've had some really great sales to where I've made, I think the most I ever made at a garage sale was about $700, and that just depends on some of the things we were selling. And on a not so good garage sale event, sometimes the garage sales would last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or sometimes you do them Friday, Saturday. You might make a couple $100, but today I did pretty good so far for a few hours. I'm probably at about I think about $165 mark now, so I did not do too bad. No, I'm even over two. Oh yeah, I'm over 200 now. So, and there were a lot of bulky things that we were able to get rid of, like extra dog kennel and gate and things like that. So, and we had them marked reasonably so that people were willing and be willing to negotiate, because after all, it is a garage sale. I mean, I know if you have a nickel on something and somebody says, will you take 3 cents for it, which seems ridiculous, if they have to ask that, I think you should just give it to them, because they need it worse than you do. And you'd be surprised. Sometimes you have 50 cents on something and you think, okay, they're going to give me 50 cents. But I've had people even say, would you take a quarter? Because maybe that's what they have in change. Okay, why not? You're going to take a quarter for them just to take it off of your hand. So you'd be surprised. Sometimes I think the things that I have out will sell right away, and other times I think, wow, this didn't expect to sell it, but I'll put it out there, and that's what went first. So just depends. So those are my tips.
Okay, guys, I got out of the heat, got into the house, freshened up a bit. I was just melting out there. I have to say, this isn't a bad thing to do for a one-day sale. When the neighborhoods have sponsored garage sales, they'll come around to your mailbox and tie a helium balloon up, and then they just kind of take care of it for the neighborhood, and then it's advertised, and people come from all over. It can be a whole lot of work. It can be a whole lot of fun if that's something that you're into. I talked to a lot of people, met some new neighbors because we're also new to the area, and so that part of it was fun. What wasn't so fun and what was very unpleasant was the heat. It was hot. Of course, I had fans going in the garage. I lit a citronella just to keep any kind of pesky bugs away, and it did really well. I think I ended up doing about $203 or $206, I think, in sales, which was kind of like almost 3/4 of what I put out there. It was a last minute decision to just go ahead and participate in it, and I learned a lesson. In the South, when you live in the deep South, you don't do garage sales when it gets to be this time of year. That's like a big no-no for me. But in the fall, they will have another one, and that's when I can really clean through for my get rid of a lot of my summer spring things and get prepared for the fall. And so I might participate in the next garage sale, because the good stuff that I didn't sell this time, I just kind of repackage and put into bins, and then I'll bring it back out when I participate in the next garage sale, because some things, however it's a garage sale, they don't really have those garage sale prices on them, and I'm just not gonna just give it away for 50 cents, $2, $5. If it's a really good quality, and I know it's a good quality, and people are out looking for it, because there's a lot of eBay shoppers who resell on their own again and want to pick it up at a deal, and then they want to make a little extra on it. Whatever, it's okay. As long as I know I put the pricing on it that I'm interested in, and I'm going to part with, because it's kind of like the Marie Kondo method, way of thinking. You know, when it's serviced you and you have been satisfied with whatever it is, and you can part with it and give it to somebody else that can find new joy or new attraction to it. And I have my eye on a pretty neat purse that I've been wanting and saving for, so I just thought I'm ready to part with some other purses that I haven't used in a long time that had good quality still left in it, and so I was able to sell those at the price that I wanted, which was really good. So a couple of tips. I like to use a sewing basket. I have this little oval sewing basket that has a compartment on the top, and I use it for change. I put my dollar bills on the bottom and my change on the top, and I would always suggest starting out with a good amount of change yourself, and just some cash. So I always start out with about 21s, couple of 5s, couple of 10s, and then change, because it's inevitable. Somebody comes to the garage sale first thing in the morning and hands you a 20 for 50 cents. It's like, really? And somebody just wants to buy $2 worth of something, and, you know, here's a 20. It's all I have. Because sometimes when they come early like that, it's almost like you're their banker. So be prepared. And I like to keep it in a little sewing basket because it's just so convenient. And when I'm, you know, not just sitting there cashing somebody out, I can just stick that back on the back rack and keep an eye on it for myself, and it just works out really good. The other things that I think are really important in a garage sale is be prepared to have some extra little boxes, some grocery plastic bags or paper bags, something that if somebody comes up and is buying quite a bit, they really appreciate if you can put everything into a bag. And I think to be successful, I think you have to be willing to negotiate. I think if you have a set price on everything, it's going to sit there, because even the last 15 minutes I sat out there, I had a really nice quilt for the bed with 2 matching shams, and I wasn't using it. I'm not going to use it for our bedding any longer, and it's in great shape. I take care of everything. I always freshly wash everything before I put it out in a garage sale, and that had just been in storage, so it hadn't been used, but I went ahead and washed it anyways. And I had a price figure on it that I thought was really good, but I was willing to still come down another $5 or $8 on it when someone was looking at it. I just kind of made the approach like, well, I'm going to have to restore it again. Or I can just say, you know, make me an offer, because we're getting ready to close up. And she asked me if I would take $10 less for it. And I thought I really had it marked at a really decent price. So we kind of compromised and went for, I think I lowered it $6 or $7 more. And she was happy with it. I was happy. She has a nice quilt, and I'm not storing it, and somebody else can put it to good use. So that's the way you have to think about it when you're having a garage sale. And I had so many people tell me how neat and organized my garage sale looked, and that's what they like. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I really, truly this time I didn't take the time to do it the way I normally do it, but I just had to do the best I could because of my time. But I do like to, as I said, group like things together because it makes it easy for people to see. And I heard a couple of ladies say, you know, my eyes were attracted right to the hanging dress rack that I have that's on wheels. It's just a laundry hanging rack, and I just brought it out there and I hung the clothes that I was selling and my purses. And she said, I just saw it right from the street, and because I kind of wheeled it out so that it could be something that people could see hanging there, and it attracted a lot of people to that area. And just a quick scan of looking around, they could tell I had all my purses and bags in one area. So that was really good. What I was surprised about is normally I can sell a lot of books, and I really put my books cheap, even the hardcover ones, 50 cents, sometimes 75 cents. And I just had a couple of takers on books. So I was kind of surprised. And normally pottery goes pretty well, and this time it didn't. I just don't think it was that time of year. I think when people are into their decorating, nesting kind of modes, I think then they might be looking for some different type of pottery stuff, but that didn't go too well. And so it's always like sometimes the things you think, oh boy, this is going to sell right away, doesn't, and the things that you think, I'm never going to get rid of this, goes boom, just like that. So it was fun. I always make it fun, and just enjoy chit-chatting with people, and you come across all kinds of people. And this time there weren't as many kids that came, which I was surprised, because I did have a few of my Boyd's Bears from years of collecting Boyd's Bears in that collection. And I sold a couple, but not a whole lot. Normally when the kids come, they like those types of things. But it was a good morning, one day sale, and that's the way to do it, and not drag it out for 2 or 3 days. That just gets to be a real grind. And participate if your neighborhood gets involved in a garage sale, because it is a great way to clean through and empty out just some things that have been sitting there and you're not using, and make a little extra cash. So I was happy with today's efforts. And so what I'm not going to put back in a garage sale that I think I can donate through the charities, I went ahead and boxed it up, and we're taking it over to have it donated, because somebody else will be able to use it. Sorry, I have to put the fan on. I'm just so hot. I can feel I'm in this back room now. It's getting a little hot, but oh boy, it wasn't too pleasant sitting out in that heat. But we ran fans out in our garage, and we just made it doable for the day. So I hope this helps if you're thinking about doing a garage sale. And like I said, be organized, spend some time getting your stuff together. Doggy, somebody just came in, so she's going to greet them with her barking. And tag everything, make it, be willing to negotiate, and just know what you're willing to price something at and part with it. Don't ever sell something that you really question, I really don't want to get rid of this. Then you're making a mistake. So until next time, be kind, be humble, and age gracefully. Bye.